So good evening, everybody. Apologies for our little bit of a late start, but we have a good agenda for this evening, so let's just jump right in. And the February 23rd, 2022 meeting of the Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
And Dr. Vogt?
We'll now recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Good. I will now read the mission statement for the City Council. The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, and Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect that values the diversity of our community. We strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place in which to live and prosper. We will treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. If we could have the certification.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 5, Chapter 39, Section 1.5, Notice of Remote Public Meetings as required by law.
Good, thank you, Heather. Reading and approval of previous minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes for the February 9th, 2022 meeting.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. And tonight we're going to have a very special presentation. It is a presentation on an initiative that's called the Safe Place Initiative. And it is our pleasure to have Sergeant Levy join us to do this presentation. And if I could have the opportunity to introduce Sergeant Levy actually at another event. So I have a very short bio, which I just beautifully. So I just want to very quickly read this bio as an introduction to Sergeant Levy. Kimberly Levy joined the Long Branch Police Department in 2001 as a patrol officer, spending several years as a detective. Currently, as a community policing officer, she's resolute in her belief that law enforcement can make a difference when it respects the citizens it serves, and is involved in numerous programs serving to that end. Kim is honored to work alongside the remarkable civil servants in this city, deserving of the city, and that is deserving of nothing less. Kim, that is just beautiful. And let's turn it over to you to tell us about the Safe Place Initiative.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to the meeting, and I would be honored to tell you about the Safe Place program. It is an initiative that was started by Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office and brought to an inception on February 4th in Long Branch. Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office got permission to borrow this program from the Seattle Police Department. And it kicked off in Long Branch, Asbury Park, and Red Bank. And I'm honored to say that Long Branch was the first municipality to kick off the program with the help of Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office and the City of Long Branch. So what is the Safe Place program about? Well, the Safe Place program is a law enforcement initiative that enhances public education regarding the reporting of a bias incident or hate crime. The program is an active collaboration between police, businesses, social organizations, and schools designed to assist in making communities a safer place to live. Any individual who sees the Safe Place logo, I'll show you it. So any individual who sees this Safe Place logo will know that businesses, organizations, or that location will provide a safe place for someone to have 911 called for their assistance should they feel unsafe. And the program is for all bias incidents or hate crimes targeting an individual of a protected class. And that may include, but is not limited to, race, color, religion, gender, disability, sexual orientation, gender expression or identity, national origin or ethnicity. So when a victim sees this in a storefront or a social organization or a house of worship in the door front or the front window of one of those organizations, they know that they would be able to go to that place and report a crime and at a minimum ask the proprietor to call 911. There's no obligation, there's no cost involved for somebody to join this program, but they do have some responsibilities. And some of those responsibilities are, if a victim of any crime, especially a hate crime, enters the premises, that the proprietor or an employee would call 911. And also they would allow the victim to remain on the property until the police arrive. If a victim left the property before police arrival, the employer would call 911 back and provide a physical description of the victim and or of the suspects and the direction of travel and any other pertinent information that could help the police locate the victim and possibly the accused. And we encourage anybody that joins the program, as with any emergency situation, the staff should use due care and caution when providing a victim of a bias incident or a crime a safe shelter, while being mindful of the safety of themselves and their coworkers. And we also want them to remain in compliance with the policies regarding the Safe Place program. And I'm happy to report that the program started and was kicked off in Monmouth County in Long Branch with Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office on February 4th. And on February 4th, with the help of the City of Long Branch, the Mayor and City Council, and our police department, we kicked off the program at the Long Branch Free Public Library, also at Gold's Gym, the Mix Lounge, Chabad at the Shore, Elberon Branch Library, and Jersey AutoZone Car Wash. Since then, Barrio Antigua joined the program, Long Branch Art and Cultural Center joined the program, Fruta Loca, 10 Pearl Street, El Vicinio, and El Mobile, and BR Hope Center are now all participants of the program, and it's growing. And I cannot say enough fabulous things about my supervisor, Lieutenant Cahill, Corporal Marco Rodriguez, and Officer Dana Page, who has been presenting the program to all different organizations and businesses throughout the city of Long Branch, and the program is growing as we speak. Plus, Miss Kelly Hughes and Miss Susan Moore are giving the program social media attention, and that's also allowing businesses to learn more about it and call our headquarters to find out about it and have one of us go speak about the program and the business's obligation in joining with us, and we're getting nothing but positive feedback. And thankfully, we have not, to my knowledge, had a crime reported this way, but it is comforting to know that because of this sticker and social media and the press that the program is getting, people will learn about it and they will know that, any of those organizations with this in the window, would be a safe place for them to go and wait for the police arrival. I'm also delighted to say that regarding all the places that we contacted and asked to partner with us, we weren't refused by anybody. And some people did need more information, but they all said basically the same thing, which is, we would never turn away a victim of a crime, regardless of the sticker. But the beauty, I think, of the sticker, of the decal, is that it's allowing the businesses and organizations in Long Branch to be united front with the police department, and to let people, and certainly victims of crimes and of a protected class, to know that there are people in their corner, who will not tolerate a hate crime or a bias incident or a bias crime in the city of Long Branch, and that many people are prepared to do something about it and are partnering with the police department.
Outstanding. Outstanding, Sergeant Levy. Let me open it up if anybody has any questions or any comments.
No, I'm good. Great job, Sergeant. Doing a great job out. Keep it up, and thank you for all you do.
Very good idea. Nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Great job.
Pleasure. If anybody learns of an organization that would like more information, as soon as we know who that organization is, we've been going there, sharing the information, and keeping track of who joins. So I'm sure, I see the program growing in leaps and bounds.
Keep up the
Thank
good
you.
work, Kim.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great.
There you go. It's a project bringing together the business community, the police, and just the community at large in dealing with this. So excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay, good. So we will continue now with the rest of the meeting, and we'll go to the consideration of ordinances for public hearing and final consideration. And first on the list is Ordinance 04-22, and this is an ordinance amending Chapter 117, Municipal Swim Pool Complex, by amending subsections 117-3, fees, and 117-6, hours of operation of the Code of the City of Long Branch. This ordinance was introduced on February 19th, 2022, and amends subsection 117-3 by opening the municipal swim pool to residents and non-residents, and changing the fee schedule by adding a seasonal rate for residents and non-residents and a daily fee for guest passes. Subsection 117-6 was amended by adding normal daily hours of operation along with hours for swim lessons, senior activities, and a Water Babies program. I need a motion now to open a public hearing on Ordinance 04-22 only.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Second.
Good. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If any member of the public has a comment to make, please dial *9 on your phone, and a representative will call on you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes and may only speak once. And do we have any callers, Will?
Yeah, Mike C. Go ahead.
Michael Kinkassi of 109 Heather Court, Middletown, New Jersey, longtime resident of Monmouth County. Formerly lived at 16 Myrtle Avenue, 595 McCullen Street, 52 Barrique Drive, and Pleasure Bay Apartments. Now, I would also request a 1-minute notification, and I would like to have not be interrupted while I ask my questions. So Does this also have regards to opening this to Ocean Township? The community pool? Number one. Number two, wasn't the abatement specifically inclusive to the Long Branch city residents? And number three, the budget for the municipality was raised to maintain the property of the pool and the landscaping and such forth, what goes on with the maintenance of the pool. And that's pretty much all I have. So I don't really need the whole 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you
So
for your
Michael, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name, but question one, can you be more specific? You're saying if you're a resident of Ocean Township, you would be treated the same as any non-resident from any other community outside of Long Branch. Is that your question?
My question is, Ocean Township has their own community pool,
Right.
and there is now a resolution to allow Ocean Township to use access to the community pool.
No,
When
that's
the-
not what,
No,
that's not what the
that's-
resolution says. That
that's
resolution
inaccurate.
deals with the fact that we are going to we're going to take over operation of that pool. These are two unrelated matters, but as the mayor said, this ordinance that you're talking about sets a fee schedule for residents and non-residents. So somebody in Ocean Township who would be a non-resident of Long Branch would pay the non-resident fee.
Okay, so when the abatement was given, wasn't it supposed to be inclusive to the residents of the city of Long Branch?
No, that kind of unrelated, right? There was a developer's contribution to building the pool, but the operation of the pool is within the city's jurisdiction.
So you're saying the abatement wasn't inclusive just to the city's residents?
I'm saying that the abatement, that you're conflating two items, the abatement had nothing to do with the operation of the pool.
So the pool was built based on the abatement, correct?
No, the pool was built based upon a redeveloper's agreement, and there was the developer constructed the pool.
So was the abatement denied before the pool was constructed?
I'm not sure I understand that question.
It's simple. Did the developer apply for an abatement, was denied, offered the city a pool, and then was granted the abatement?
No,
That did not
not by
happen.
this administration, certainly.
Okay. I'm done with my part of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Will, any other callers?
One more hand raised. Caller whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ernest George McNally, 710 Northeast 7th Street, Unit 407, Boynton Beach, Florida. Born and raised, 301 2nd Avenue, Long Branch, New Jersey. And I lived in Monmouth County 72 years. And went through Monmouth Memorial Hospital, born, Star of the Sea Church, etc., and Long Branch Catholic School, Star of the Sea. So here I am talking about the pool. In my opinion, right, there is constant bickering between, I shouldn't say bickering, there's constant miscommunication or denial of public records, of public information, of inside information, of developers and the city mayor and council, and how you make these, you don't mind me calling them deals, you know, they're like all an outgrowth of Operation Bid Rig. They're the same kind of deals where, like the previous person said, who's correct, they wanted to put all the townhomes on the west side of Ocean Boulevard there, And you say, well, no, you can't do that. And they say, well, you know, what will it cost? You know, what will the public good be? How about I build you a pool? And how about I build a pool way out in the swamp so certain areas of the city won't come over towards Pier Village? And they said, what a great idea. And I know people who were in the meeting with the mayor when those things were discussed. And, you know, it sounds like the same kind of word, disgust, like as in disgusting. And all these comments that you make about people, you say they're lying about the pool and this. I mean, look what's going on. You got Brown over there running the ocean thing. Now you're mixing it with Long Branch. The mayor, Pallone, can't decide which pool he's going to go to. I think he goes to the one where Siciliano has alcohol over there. He likes that a lot better. And now you got Senator Gopal working to allow public alcohol wherever you want to walk around and public pot. So, you know, this is going to be some pool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you walk by and not smell, you know, everything? And by the way, you should put all those safety stickers all around the pool, because you know what's going on in Long Branch, right? Everywhere. Public pools, on the beach, public buildings, schools, all kinds of sex crimes and stuff like that. So who would feel safe letting their kid go to a Long Branch pool, right? Not many people I know, except you. You all say, oh, it's safe, but you don't go. I can't imagine the city lawyer ever been there. I can't imagine Mayor Pallone. I can't see him swimming around the pool, or anybody from the city. You know, you like to talk about it, but you know, it's for everybody else. This pool was a disaster. And no matter what you do trying to deceive the public, there's no cracks, there's cracks. You know, people get run over, they get hurt. You don't tell the public. You know, you make these deals in back rooms, etc. You know, you don't want people to know. You know, basically, you've been
Mr.
accused.
McNally, this is an ordinance about the fees for the pool, so if you could stick to the ordinance,
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And
No,
that's what I'm
you're not,
talking
Mr.
about.
McNally, so you
No,
need to
yes, I
stick to
am.
the ordinance.
Yes, I am. And stop interrupting me.
Ah,
Okay, I think.
No, I'm not finished. No, I'm not finished.
Okay.
Well, I thought maybe you would tell him not to interrupt me, but you won't do that, Ms. Board President. You like to have everybody attacked, called names, and you say, oh, don't say anything about us.
Finish your 5 minutes on the
1 minute
top.
warning.
No, it's not up. I still have.
You have 1 minute. You were just given a 1-minute warning.
Thank you. You know what? I think we could get along somehow, but I don't know how. These fees, the whole thing is a mess. Everything's a mess. Everything's secret. Nobody can get any information. You know, the maintenance, it was all a pull over the eyes of the public. The tax got to pay for it. You know, you're using city this and city that and city equipment, and, you know, it's a whole big mess. So I think the whole thing should be reviewed and go back to a kind of an investigation by the state controller. And let's see how this whole thing's being run. You know, the controller can really figure it out, right? That's what I recommend. So I say vote no to what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
But you-
McNally. Will, are there any other callers?
No other hands raised.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance.
So
so
moved.
moved.
Second.
Okay. This is the second reading of Ordinance 04-22, entitled An Ordinance Amending Chapter 117 Municipal Swim Pool Complex by amending subsections 117-3 and 117-6 hours of operation of the Code of the City of Long Branch. I need a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
yes,
Dr. Selly?
yes,
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Moving on to 05-22, a bond ordinance amending and restricting bond ordinance number 24-14, finally adopted by the City Council of the City of Long Branch in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, on November 25th, 2014, to decrease the total debt authorized from $30,260,000 to $30,083,900, to amend the description to include improvements to the city library and to amend and supplement other provisions therein. This ordinance was introduced on February 9th, 2022, and amends bond ordinance number 24-14, finally adopted on November 25th, 2014, to decrease the total debt authorized from $30,260,000 to $30,083,900, to amend the description to include improvements to the city library and to supplement other provisions therein. I need a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 5-22 only.
so
Motion
moved,
to open the public hearing.
second,
Thank you. If any member of the public has any comments to make, please dial *9 on your phone and a representative will call on you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes and may only speak once. And Will, do we have any callers?
We got some hands raised. Mike C. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing? Again, Michael Kincassi, 109 Heather Court, Middletown, New Jersey, resident of Monmouth County for 37 years, formerly 16 Myrtle Avenue, 595 McCullen Street, 603 McCullen Street, 52 Baruch Drive, Pleasure Bay Apartments. I just would like to clarify, I'm not against the library being upgraded. That is a great thing. But the language in what else the sub properties or whatever language you used to decide what else the budget is going to go to beside the library, is there anyone that could answer that?
Mike, would you address this ordinance maybe?
Yes, Mayor. The only change from the 2014 ordinance is that we added $200,000 to Lake Takanassee improvements, which includes beautification and dredging, and the library improvements. Those are the only 2 changes we made to the verbiage of the details of the ordinance.
Okay, so it's only specifically going to Lake Takanassee improvements and the library's improvements.
The changes, yes, correct.
That is
yes.
correct?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm good.
Good. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Will, any other calls?
Caller whose phone number ends in 198. Go ahead. Mr. Lepore, are you there? It looks like you're unmuted, sir. And now you're muted. And now you're unmuted. But we're not hearing anything from your side, sir.
You hear me?
I can hear you now, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, sir, loud and clear.
Requesting 1-minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. Mr. Martin, on item number 7, what is the exact dollar figure for the various improvements to the city library, including all work and materials necessary therefore or incidental thereto? What is the exact figure
The
in this
exact
ordinance?
we have in this ordinance for the line is 3.5 million. 3.1 million of that is a direct match to the grant that the library received, and the 400,000 is for potential overages.
3.1 million of this 3.5 million from 2014 is going to be a direct match to the state. Is that correct?
To the state grant, yes.
Okay. Where did this 3.5 million get sourced from? 2014. Was that the taxpayers?
It was an ordinance adopted in 2014. Yes, the appropriations were created in 2014.
From the taxpayers?
No, it
From
was
the
a capital
taxpayers?
expenditure.
The
So
the debt was authorized in 2014 to be borrowed,
Correct.
yes.
Is the $3.5 million coming from the taxpayers?
Ultimately, yes, it'll be paid back through debt service by the taxpayers, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, what is the present outstanding balance on the 2014 bond issue?
Present outstanding balance. I don't have that in front of me. I'll have to get that for you.
How much of the 2014 bond issue was a refunding of prior bonds and/or bond anticipation notes?
None of this is refunding bonds.
When was the last principal payment made on the 2014 bond issue?
We make principal payments every 6 months or
Do you
annually.
know what that principal payment was?
Not specifically on that issue, no.
When is the next scheduled principal payment and in what amount?
Next scheduled principal payment is in December. I think it's for about $1.5 million in principal.
What is the maturity date on the 2014 bond issue?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Are you presently contemplating refunding the 2014 bond issue on any other bond or bond anticipation note this year?
No.
No. Okay. Was there a mistake in the down payment on the 2014 bond?
No.
All right. What caused the adjustment in the $316,000 down payment in Section 1?
It's a $176,100 adjustment. And back in 2014, the local finance board waived the down payment for many of these improvements because they were for Sandy recovery projects. Now that we're reappropriating it for non-Sandy recovery projects, we're required to make a down payment. That's what the adjustment's for.
Are there any Section 20 costs incurred with this bond this evening?
No, they've already been appropriated for any other lines.
All right, in bond 2414, why were the Section 20 costs limited to 10%? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
I didn't write that ordinance. I'm not sure.
All right. I'm against this ordinance. I attended the library board meetings. Thank you. I attended the library meetings when the formation of the grant process was taking place for the application. I suggested back then I'm all for the matching grant as long as the city can source the matching from other than the taxpayers. Tonight, what we're stating in Section 7 here for the various improvements to the city library, this $3.5 million figure is going to be sourced from the taxpayers for the matching grant of the state. I'm against that. There was plenty of years, 3 years, to source other funding for that matching grant from the state, which was a nice accomplishment by the library. But to hit the taxpayers when you had 3 years to source other alternatives is wrong. No, I'm requesting a no vote. This is chicanery, fooling the taxpayers the way this ordinance was
5
written.
minutes.
Requesting a no vote.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore. Will, do we have any other callers?
One more hand raised. Call whose phone number ends in. Slight technical difficulty, sorry.
Okay.
Call whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Ernest McNally, 710 Northeast 7th Street, Unit 407, Boynton Beach, Florida, formerly 301 2nd Avenue, Long Branch, New Jersey. Born in 1948, I weighed 11 and a half pounds with hazel eyes, and I'm still here. So look, this thing with the library, you had 3 years. Do you know how many developments you made where you could have said, instead of building a pool in a swamp, you could have said to one of the developers, for the public good, instead of an assessment, for the public good, we'll match the $3.5 million for the library. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. And why? That's because Anselm Aaron and Mayor Schneider, Esquire, you know, and their relationship with developers and Operation Bid Rig and Solomon Dweck, everybody learned, you know what? Let's just keep pumping the taxpayers. They'll never know. Let's earn money by raising their valuations every year. Let's keep hitting them and driving them out of the city and bringing in the billionaires. Are you kidding me, charging the taxpayers for this library? Are you kidding me? And listen to this city finance person. No matter what you ask them, I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I don't have it. I don't know where it is. I don't know how much it is. Oh, I wasn't here. Oh, I wasn't there. How are you going to vote on this? You don't have any information. No matter what anyone asks you, you don't have the answers. And the only thing you do is interrupt people. That's how you try and throw the public off. You interrupt them, and then you talk about other things. And then the city attorney jumps in every time when he's not asked to jump in, and he's not supposed to. And the city council president doesn't stop him. Why does that happen? You read the rules in the middle of the comments, but why don't you all follow them? Because we can never get to anything or pin anything down because you have all these evasive interruptions. You call people horrible names.
Council
You know,
President, this is about the ordinance, please.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Mr. McNally, stick to the fact.
What do you think I'm talking about? I'm
Okay.
talking about how deceptive you are. Like when the mayor got elected and we didn't know where he was. You know, he lied that he was in the hospital. Well, you lie about these pools
Once
and
again,
buildings.
Council President, this has not, these personal attacks have nothing to do with this bond ordinance.
It's not personal. It's not personal.
McNally,
He's an
we're not saying-
elected official. He lied. He didn't tell the public he was in the
Will
hospital.
please mute him for a minute? Ms. McNally, listen to what I'm saying. It's not that it's personal, just stick to the facts of what you want to say about this ordinance. If you don't want to be interrupted, stick to the facts about the ordinance. Now finish up your time talking just about this ordinance.
Okay, so give me back your time for your explanation that you apply to me, but not to you. And by the way, again, I'm going to ask you, when you say we're profane and we're factless, tell me one thing right now I said that's factless. Just one. Come on, Council President. Just one. Tell me one fact that I said is not a fact.
Mr. McNally,
Or are you going to call me? You're going to call me profane?
You don't want to be interrupted, so go ahead. You don't want to be interrupted, so go ahead.
Thank you. So the way you're doing this bond, in my opinion, U.S. Congressman Frank Pallone should refer it to the New Jersey comptroller, who's starting to investigate a lot of things in municipalities in Monmouth County, especially all these projects. Like, where's the money coming from?
1 minute warning.
So the attorney general, well, they keep quitting, but the inspector general, rather the comptroller of New Jersey, like the one who investigates how all this municipal money is being, moved around and stuff. I think this whole thing with the library and Tackanassie Lake and this whole ordinance, before you vote to pass it, should be referred to the New Jersey comptroller's office, who investigates public funds. Because what you're doing to the taxpayer is not, the taxpayer is not aware. And if you're going to use your city finance person as a witness, who never seems to know anything, his answer to everything is, I don't have it off the top of my head. I don't have it on the bottom of my shoe. I don't have it in my left hand, my right hand. I wasn't here.
Mr. McNeil, your time is up. Thank you for your comment. Will, any more callers?
No other hands raised.
Okay, good, thank you. I need a motion to close the public hearing on 05-22 ordinance.
So moved.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you. This is the second reading of ordinance 05-22 entitled the Bond Ordinance, Amending and Restating Bond Ordinance number 24-14, finally adopted by the City Council of the City of Long Branch in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, on November 25th, 2014, to decrease the total debt authorized from $30,260,000 to $30,083,900, to amend the description to include improvements to the city library and to amend and supplement other provisions therein. I need a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. And now we're moving to ordinances for introduction. And this was an ordinance that we are adding tonight. This was discussed in our workshop meeting. And because of the timing that is required, we're introducing this ordinance this evening. So let me read it to you. This is the first reading of ordinance 06-22, entitled An Ordinance Authorizing the Conduct of Early Voting for Regular Municipal Elections in May in the City of Long Branch pursuant to NJSA 19:15A-1. This ordinance allows the city to conduct early voting for the May municipal election for a period that shall start on the 4th calendar day before the regular municipal election and end on the 2nd calendar day before the regular municipal election. I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertise and post according to law, and set the public hearing for March 9th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Moving on to public participation for resolutions and all general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has a comment to make, please dial *9 on your phone and a representative will call you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes to talk and may only speak once. All comments should be addressed to the council president. There will be no cross dialogue during the public portion. After everyone from the public wishing to speak has been heard, any member of the council or the administration may address your comments and questions. While public participation is encouraged and valued, the presiding officer reserves the right to terminate remarks to or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. And do we have any callers?
Yes, Mike C has his hand raised. Go ahead, sir.
Michael Kincassi, 109 Heather Court, Middletown, New Jersey. I request a 1-minute notification, please. As regards to Officer Joseph Coron, who was just recently suspended for 90 days, it is a criminal offense to falsify a police report. My question is, was that suspension with or without pay? Also, I want to get to Christopher Walls, since you wouldn't talk about that when the investigation was being open. Are you happy with the plea deal that he got? Also, why wasn't he charged with drugs in a school zone, drugs in a public housing area, which were 2 public housing areas? And there was one more thing I had. Oh, the June 19th incident that we called unruly. In the Oprah request, it was stated as a riot. Also, Monmouth County Sheriff's Office was staged at 7 Presidents and were minutes, if not seconds, away from being deployed. Not to mention, the Long Branch Police were in riot gear, riot shields. You classified that as an unruly situation as your verbiage. The Oprah request again has that they were responding to a riot. You had to call in surrounding towns to patrol the city of Long Branch. And I don't understand how you can consider that an unruly situation when officers were being assaulted and had to use riot shields to try and defend themselves. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Raynone, do you want to address that?
Well, I'm not, once again, Mr. Mayor, I'm not going to get into the issue of how people want to characterize what happened on June 19th. Everybody's free to do, obviously, characterize it any way that they want. As to the other issues, they're personnel issues, and I don't think there's really anything else to comment on. They're old disciplinary matters, and prosecutions of criminal offenses don't rest with the city, they rest with the county prosecutor's office.
Thank you, Mr. Raynone.
You're welcome.
Will, are there any other callers?
Yes, caller whose phone number ends in 198. Go ahead.
Mr. IT man, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Requesting 1-minute notification. Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. Resolution 58, shared services with Ocean Township municipal pools. Residents of this city are now put in a position of shared services that would have otherwise not been needed if there was no municipal pool. I offered a breakout of the analysis for the necessity of the shared services, and as of yet, the Oprah has not been answered. Looking at this agreement, Ocean Township is clearly the winner, since most of the labor issues, pay, and benefits will be Long Branch's responsibility. If there was a demonstrated need for shared services, Monmouth Beach, down the street, would have clearly been the better choice, since they certainly know how to run a successful municipal pool. This leads us to conclude this agreement is politically driven, another political bureaucracy in the making, with all the major players of a political party, 2 Democratic mayors, a former county Democratic chairman, an Ocean Township administrator, David Brown, who was the former county Democratic chairman. The list goes on and on. And of course, let's not forget how the city's municipal pool came about. From Team Palone's developer tax abatement deal with Ocean Gate Developers for 170 condo units along Northern Ocean Boulevard. Tax abatement at the expense of the residents of this city, who are now seeing the exponential gain to Ocean Township and its municipal pool from the very bad developer tax abatement deal Team Palone made. The idea that Long Branch needs Ocean Township's help with Long Branch's municipal pool is both a dark laugh and an insult. I'm requesting a no vote on Resolution 58. I need a vote. As council president and representative to the people of this city, you have failed. You failed to provide full disclosure about your false fact checker, City Attorney Raynone. On September 1st, 2021, City Attorney Raynone of the city law firm Raynone, Coughlin, Mancello contributed $1,000 with a recorded aggregate of $2,083.33 to your Team Palone re-election campaign, Anita Vogt. Also, Raynone's law partner, Craig Coughlin, contributed another $1,000 for a recorded aggregate amount of $2,083.33 to your Team Palone re-election campaign, Anita Vogt. And then again, another Raynone law partner, David Mancello, contributed to your Team Palone campaign $1,000 on a recorded aggregate of $2,083.33. Again, for your Team Palone re-election campaign, Anita Vogt. And Raynone is your source for fact-checking? Is there a conflict of interest here, Anita Vogt? At the last council meeting, you allowed the mayor, well in excess of 5 minutes, to do an erroneous script with no fact-checking. You allowed Director Saldita to outright lie in the face of the Pier Village riot police report with no fact-checking. Anita Vogt.
1 minute warning.
You facilitated, thank you, Madam Clerk. Anita Vogt, you facilitated the false commentary of Palone, Raynone, and Saldita at the expense of your credibility, of which you have none now. Again, multiple times it's been stated, your resignation tonight is expected. You're running these meetings as equivalent to junk, false, fact-checking government.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore.
Council President, I just want to point out, I usually don't mind interrupting Mr. Lepore, but he got the resolution backwards because I think that he read that resolution that Ocean Township was going to be running our pool, when in fact, because of the expertise, we are actually going to be running their pool. So I'm not sure. I'll assume Mr. Lepore 2 weeks from now will apologize for being wrong about that, but I won't wait for a long time for it. But I just wanted, we should point that. I know council knows that, obviously, because we've been talking about this for a few weeks.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Raynone. Any
You're welcome.
other comments?
Caller whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Ernest Ngoli, formerly 301 2nd Avenue, Long Branch. I live now at 710 Northeast 7th Street, Unit 407, Boynton Beach, Florida. I'm neighbors where the Madoff family, sister and husband, murdered each other It's like a few blocks away. So even though you leave New Jersey, you never really, in New York and New Jersey, you never really leave it because everybody's down here. You know what I mean? Police, firemen, you know what I mean? Madoff. So, and boy, did Senator Wittenberg and Teaneck up there, see how mad she got at Madoff for stealing all her money? She never stopped, you know what I mean? All about her money. How about everybody else's money they take up there in Bergen County? Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. So anyway, James N. Butler, the city municipal prosecutor for Long Branch, Asbury, Neptune Township, Atlantic Highlands, Monmouth Beach, I think, and some other ones. Okay? Why? I've been sending emails, you don't respond, requesting his suspension for investigation, and I've asked the ombudsman in the Superior Court to forward the request to Judge Lisa Thornton, originally from Long Branch, now in Neptune, to do what she did to Judge Richard Thompson in Bradley Beach for fraud in the court, fixing things. Now, you have to understand, Butler, James N. Butler, hears things about developers, code, fire, school, motor vehicle, criminal, back and forth. So what do you think? He's just fixing one ticket with a committee person in Neptune Township? Are you kidding me? You know how many recordings I have of this guy in his office telling me stuff about Long Branch, politicians, police, firemen, mayors, council, Asbury, about Wall Township, about the prosecutors, telling me people's sex lives, which, by the way, is not personal. When people are in elected office or appointed or police or civil servants or whatever, everything they do is public. Look at the news. But what do you say when we try and bring it up? Like all the pedophilia going on and all the cops with methane and endangering children, like with walls that you covered up. There was kids in that house and there was kids in that neighborhood, and you covered that case up. You covered up the fact that I got the 2012 police report that Wells, I forget, whatever his name is, the public safety director, then sent risotto and corn over there to cover it up, right? And what'd you do? You had the prosecutor. She wouldn't even sign the return receipt. Only signature by Laura Linsky, receipt of the police report. She wouldn't sign it. She wouldn't sign it. And it says it right on the receipt. And you know something? That's what you're doing with Oprah's. And that's what you're doing with this city lawyer. This city lawyer is no different than Ansel Grimaren and Honecker and that whole group, you know, with you know, look what they've done to all the cities, Ansel Grimaren. And look what they did. You talk about city employees. Look at Jimmy Aaron. You know, who didn't he have sex with that works for the city of Long Branch? Court clerks, tax collectors.
Council
you
President.
Want to cover everything up. Yeah. What do I have, a minute left?
Mr. McNally, if you continue talking like this, you don't have any time left. So,
who is this? Who said that?
Anita Vogt said that.
All right, let me ask you a question. What did I say that's not factual or not allowed?
Mr. McNally.
According to an Open Public Meetings Act rules, tell me one thing I said that's inappropriate. Tell me one.
Well, if you let me talk, I will.
Okay, you talk.
Time and time again, all you do is just defame one person after another, after another, after another. What's your purpose with this? Where are you going with this in terms of tearing apart the city here and always focusing on negative things? I would love for you to take one of your minutes, one of your 5 minutes, tell us some positive contributions that you've made to Long Branch. So maybe you could finish up your 5 minutes right now. Tell us some of the positive things that you have done for Long Branch. Mr. Magnolia, you're muted.
Okay, I think you owe me about 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Finish up your, Heather, how much time does he have left?
I have 57 seconds, but I pause it when you start talking.
So you have 57 seconds left, and I didn't use any of your time, Ms. Magnolia. I suggest you use it wisely. And I.
Oh, really? And let me ask you something.
Stop. Don't interrupt me. All right?
Why are you even talking? It's my time.
You have 57
You know what?
seconds, and let's hear your positive contribution to Long Branch.
Okay. I am great at crime, corruption, and nepotism by everybody in public office in Long Branch. I'm the best there is. I'm the best. And why you don't suspend James N. Butler for what he's doing with Judge Basson, Judge Selly, Judge Siri, Judge Apostle, all the Long Branch judges, etc. And what do? You cut people off. So that's what I do good for Long Branch. I out crime, corruption, and nepotism, and evil, rotten cops and firemen and city officials. That's what I do to protect children. You mind? Look at you with your pedophilia high school. You're trying to cover everything up. And look at James Butler, and you don't suspend him? Well, who do you give it to? Laura Linsky. Are you kidding me? Or Melanie Falco, or Jennifer Lip, or Jackie.
Okay, Will, are there any more callers?
No other hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, have you received any public comment by electronic mail or written letter?
No comments have been received.
Okay, good. I need a motion to close the public participation portion of this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll now ask Madam Clerk if there's been any changes to the list of resolutions.
Resolution 62-22 was removed from the agenda, and Resolution 58-22 was moved to the roll call vote after the consent agenda items.
Okay, and now let me take the list of resolutions as the consent agenda. I need a motion.
So move.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
yes,
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. And now we're going to move to a resolution by roll call vote on, I need a motion to adopt the following resolution on a roll call vote. It's Resolution 58-22, resolution authorizing a mutual shared services agreement between the City of Long Branch and the Township of Ocean for municipal pool operations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
second,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Abstain.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
yes,
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Applications, we have none. And that moves us to miscellaneous business for the good of the order. And I'm going to ask Councilman Dangler to please start us off.
Yes, good evening. Thank all those who tuned in to watch the council meeting this evening. I do have one, public service announcement. Law enforcement career will be held at Brookdale Community College on March 8th from 4 to 9 at the Collins Arena. Several law enforcement agencies will be on the site. All are welcome. And this year, particularly, they are making an emphasis on minority hiring, which is the first time in many, many years, if at all, that there is an emphasis to try and hire more minorities in who are interested in law enforcement. So please spread the word to be there on, I'm losing my phone here, to be there on March 8th from 4 to 9 at Brookdale Community College. Thank you and God bless you all.
Good, thank you, Councilman Dangler. Councilman Vieira.
Thank you, Council President. Tonight, I just want to thank everybody that tuned in for tonight, and I also want to thank Sergeant Levy with the great presentation that she presented for us about the safe place. And with that, a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Vieira. Councilwoman Wittes.
I thank you. I'd also like to thank Sergeant Levy for your presentation this evening. I think it's a great program and I hope it expands. And I also would like to remind everyone, but the Long Branch Hometown Hero Program, the deadline for this year is March 15th. So if anyone is interested in participating, please do so. And with that, thank you everyone for participating in thank you everyone for participating in this meeting this evening. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Councilwoman Wittes. Councilwoman Shelley.
Good evening, everybody. I too would like to thank Sergeant Kim Levy for bringing the safe place to us and making us more aware of it. I'm sure it's a good program, and as the months go on, we'll see some real progress. Tonight, for those of you that watched the council meeting, I just can't believe some of the things that are said. And the person who's saying it has a lot of nerve to say it. I believe one of the callers was challenged tonight about saying something positive that he had done. I didn't hear the answer. However, we have a wonderful city. We're not going to let people like that make comments. They can make them all they want, but everybody who lives here knows better what a wonderful city it is. We have a great administration. And with that, I'd like to say, please stay safe and wear your mask. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Shelley. Mayor Cologne.
Thank you, Council President. I'd also like to thank Sergeant Levy and all of the Long Branch Police Department for their partnership with this program and with other police departments, as well as the county prosecutor's office that we've worked with recently and in the past. Our PD is always out there to help, to assist with the community, and to partner, with any group or individuals to help our community. I also want to say that tomorrow is the artist reception for the Celebrating Black History Through Art exhibit. That's tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be a great night. We're going to have live entertainment and some excellent food, and admission is free to all. Also, signups for activities and recreation such as soccer and baseball have begun. Please call Recreation at 732-571-6545 for more information. And I also wanted to add that the Bucky James Center is going to be starting one of their programs. I think it's on the 25th, Assistant Business Administrator, and it's going to be supervised open gym that's going to run weekday afternoons.
28th.
I'm sorry?
The 28th.
The 28th. And that will be open to a lot of I don't know, Lindsay, would you mind? Do you have any details there?
Yeah, it's an open gym. They're going to be doing sports such as basketball, kickball. I think the sports are going to change every day. People can sign up by signing a waiver. The parent needs to sign a waiver that can either be obtained online, not just yet. It's going to be online probably the next day or two, or they can call Recreation or stop by the Bucky James Center and get the waiver signed.
Thank you. And with that, I'd just like to thank you all for joining in tonight. Have a great week.
Good, thank you, Mayor. I would like to pick up on Councilwoman Shelley's comments and agree with you, Councilwoman Sully. I really didn't hear too much in terms of a positive contribution from the caller either. And I'd kind of like to make that just a standing request that out of the 5 minutes, perhaps even just 1 minute, what has been the positive contributions that this person has made to Long Branch? It is very, very easy to sit on the sidelines and throw stones and criticize. It's a lot harder to bring people together and try to make positive change for our wonderful, wonderful city. So I hope he takes us up on that invitation. That was one of the reasons why when I was reading Sergeant Levy's introduction, when she said, "I am so honored to work alongside the remarkable city servants of this city." How we build things together. I mean, such an outstanding civil service servant as Sergeant Levy is, and certainly recognizing her colleagues is just very heartening. And you know that I'm concerned about the level of civility and lack of civility that happens in our meetings at times. And I've said before that, you know, this obviously is not just a Long Branch issue. So I was really pleased to see that Monmouth University is sponsoring a series about civility in the public arena. And their first presentation, which is really a panel presentation, it's entitled, How Can Civil Discourse Lead to Good Public Policy? How do we get past this constant tearing each other down? It is a program that's going to be, it's a virtual program, and we can post it for anyone who's interested. We could post the information on our website. It's March 2nd, starting at 11:40, going from 11:40 to 1 o'clock. And it's going to have Republican and Democratic leaders from the state, from the region, talking about civility and talking about how do we encourage the coming together that we have to do in order to move forward. So, like I said, this is something I feel is so important. I hope many of you get a chance to tune into it. With that, I mentioned Sergeant Levy. My thanks to just an outstanding employee for the city of Long Branch. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Thank you for your comments, and a safe next 2 weeks, and we'll see you at our next meeting in 2 weeks. So thank you, everybody. And with that, let me ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Good. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.